Hey YouTube, Longboys Post 1975. Yeah, do you know how I always like to say never say never? Well, you've read the title down below. The return of pickups in the wild. Now, I've never been primarily a pickup channel. There's nothing wrong with channels that are. I've always been more so a vlogger and a gameplay channel. But I'm not gonna lie, I did enjoy doing my pickups in the wild videos. I mean, there weren't that many of them, but you know, they were just a blast to make, and you know, I enjoyed, you know, filming my, well, adventures, too strong a term, you know, me out in the wild, never really professional, full of Blair Witch cam. I'll put a time in the doohickey down below if you want to skip all the shaky cam stuff, because you know, if you're sensitive to motion sickness and stuff like that. But yeah, I went to Weston-super-Mare today. I had to go to my building society, and it's funny because I didn't have anything on me other than my Windows phone. My Windows phone is pretty good for shooting footage, particularly if you can do it like that. Unfortunately, a lot of the time, because lots of shops, even charity shops, are getting savvy, so you have to do it like that, but then you get those horrible borders. But you know, I'm waffling. It's good enough to do a pickup in the wild video, and I remember I parked in Tesco's so I could save money, and I walked towards the seafront, you know, where the building society is, where I had to go, and I immediately saw two charity shops, and I thought, you know what, bollocks to it. I'm going to do a pickups in the wild video, because it's been a while since I've been out in the wild, and I mean, I've streamlined my collection, but I still like fishing around in stores and seeing what you can find. So yeah, so what I've done is I've shot some in the wild footage, and to try and get over, I've made some changes, eh? See, evolution, it's a good thing, Darwin was right. To try and get over, you know, issues with copyrights, I dropped the sound levels on all the stores, but kept them just about right so you could still hear the clunking of the cases on the shelf, and then I narrated over the top, which is not as easy as it sounds. It's not a problem of, you know, because even my basic software lets me narrate, but it's timing your narration to the point of the video itself, because it just cuts off. But anyway, yeah, so here you go, pickups in the wild. So, actually on the left of me right now is the Odeon. There's two charity shops straight ahead. The one with the white banner is the RSPCA. This is in the RSPCA. And I had this really, really cool little cubby hole at the back of the store where literally only like two people could fit in, which I thought was brilliant because I could hold my phone sideways properly. And, you know, and film. This is the shop with the blue banner. It's Weston Hospice. Obviously, Weston Hospice is, you know, a store localized to the town, which is Weston-super-Mare. It's an absolutely massive charity shop. It's huge. So you would think going into it, just because of the size, that there'd be a whole bunch of cool stuff. But you know, size of a store does not necessarily mean that you're going to get a whole cool bunch of stuff. I mean, take the back wall, for example. This whole back wall, right, was stocked with DVDs and what I thought, you know, were games and, you know, books and stuff like that. I mean, when I walked in and I looked at the back wall, I thought, that's absolutely epic. I'm bound to get some really, really cool stuff here. But yeah, for such a big selection of sort of, is material the right word? I don't know. I've never seen such, you know, a lack of, you know, actual sort of decent titles. But I was quite impressed because there were a couple of Xbox, well, not Xbox One, or original Xbox games in here that I've actually been after for a while. Right, now, this next bit is, this is the main high street, and I don't know if you can see it, but I'm walking up to Game on the right hand side. I'm not normally a massive fan of Game. Again, I had to flip my camera right. I mean, we have a Game in Bristol, but there's no denying they do fill a hole in the market. Normally I find their prices kind of a bit steep, but they had a really, really good selection of 3DS games, as you can see. I was quite surprised flicking through them. There's a whole bunch of 3DS games I didn't even know, you know, even existed. The cool DS ones on the bottom. There's Xbox up on the left. I wasn't really interested in that. This is what I was interested in going in here for, because it's so difficult to buy. Brilliant selection of Wii games, by the way. So difficult to buy Wii U games in the high street, but not at places like Game. So yeah, that's, I gotta be honest, that Doctor Who game is shit, by the way. Gotta be honest, that's why I came in here. Didn't know the Captain America game was actually on the Wii. I was torn whether or not to buy it, but kind of, you know, limited funds, so I thought, no, just hold your nerve, is that the right thing to say, and check out the Wii U games. They had absolutely brilliant selection of Wii U games. I really do want to get Wind Waker at some point, but I've already played it and completed it on the GameCube, so I thought I'll get something else. So I don't actually have that much stuff, but I'm not gonna lie, quite a lot of it is stuff. Well, there's one sort of wild card stuff that I have generally been sort of after for a while. So we'll start with the first place I went into, which was RSPCA with the little cubby hole, like I said, in the pickups bit, in the wild bit at the back, which I thought was great because literally, as I said, only 2 of you could fit in there, so you could film. Now, this is a game because you're going to say, why did you buy? It's FIFA Road to the World Cup. 98. Yeah, why did you buy a random sports title? It was £1, and well, the case is knackered. It's got a manual with the very young David Beckham pre-becoming a twat thanks to Posh Spice. Sorry, too much. But even back in the day, Disc is right, I never played this, but I thought it was a sort of anomaly because you have the regular FIFA sort of franchise, which, correct me if I'm wrong, it's been a while since, you know, any PlayStation 1 ones had, like, you know, international teams. So you had that, and then when it came up to the World Cup, you had a World Cup sort of FIFA released game. So what is the purpose of FIFA Road to the World Cup? I don't know, I could be completely and utterly wrong, but is it a game between the two? Were they that desperate to cash in that they thought, we'll make a game about the qualifying process to be able to be in the World Cup? I mean, too similar to me, really, but I don't know. That's why I bought it. I'm very, very curious as to what this is. Maybe I'll answer it in the video, but yeah, I was just like, why do you exist? So then I went into the store next door to it, which was Western Hospice. Where is it? There we go. And yeah, as I said, for such a massive store with a massive, massive array of sort of CDs, DVDs, and apparently games, but I since found out not really. Very little in there, but I'm on a big Xbox, original Xbox kick at the moment, if only because, and I know the Xbox 360 servers aren't dropping immediately, but if you have a 360 like me that used to play the, you know, the games that are, you know, backwards compatible, you have to download a patch for them before you can use them for the first time. So if I, you know, want to get some Xbox games, then obviously it would make sense to kind of, you know, get as many as I can of the ones I want and, you know, download the patch now, because eventually, I know it's a while down the road, when it does get sort of shut down, backwards compatibility basically becomes obsolete. So the first one I picked up was Call of Duty 3. These were both £2. This, I didn't realise the case has got a, how does that happen? I don't know if you can see that's a massive gnaw out of it. But yeah, Call of Duty 3. No manual. Disc is alright. It might seem a bit of a random title for me to purchase. I know it was on the 360, played it very briefly, but played a lot of it on the Wii, and I do quite like it on the Wii, and I've always been an advocate of motion controls. But that's basically the PlayStation 2 version, and it's a launch title for the Wii, and it has very badly implemented and tacked on motion controls, and I absolutely struggle with it, which annoys me because it is quite a fun and enjoyable game. So when I saw this, I thought, I want to see on a, you know, a console of that generation, alright, the Wii isn't of that generation, but you know what I mean, its original launch sort of, when this game was launched that generation, what it's like with a pad. So, and also obviously the Xbox, original Xbox, does have some serious grunts, so that's why I picked that up. It's not as random as it may seem. Red Faction 2, £2 as well. That's got the manual as well. Has got the manual, I should say, sorry, because I can feel weight in there. It's a bit banged up. Disc is spankaroonie. I bought this simply because I played the original Red Faction on the PlayStation 2, and the whole sort of destructible environment thing I thought was absolutely fantastic and utterly ahead of its time. So this game is half as good as that, and I'm assuming it probably is because obviously the original was very well, it went down very, very well, you know, very, very popular game. I'm pretty sure you wouldn't balls up the franchise, and obviously the franchise continued afterwards, so assuming that this is a good game. So yeah, really, really looking forward into cracking into that. The only problem with these two games that could severely bite me in the ass is they might not be backwards compatible, but you know what, if they're not, I'll just take them to another charity shop. Then, and this was the real reason, one of the goals I had deliberately when I went to, you know, obviously I went for my building society, but when I was in there, or downtown Western, was to go in game. Not a massive fan of game, as I said, but obviously they are brilliant for Wii U games. Camera's making a farty noise. I can hear it from here. Yeah, Resident Evil Revelations, there were 2 in there. I'm assuming it's the quality of the disc. Can't check it because it's still sealed. The other one was 19, this was 17.99. I plumped for this. Massive Resident Evil kick right now at the moment. I played the demo of this on the 3DS and I really, really did like it, but never got particularly far, mainly because it was a demo. Go figure. I remember when it was launched and I thought, I'm not paying like £30 for that. Seriously, camera, it sounds like you're shuffling a pack of cards. Still going? Hey everyone, we just wait for my camera. There we go. Sorry about that. Yeah, I was on the 360 as well, and I thought, I ain't paying 30 quid for that. It's basically an upscale sort of port of, you know, the 3DS version, or maybe it's not, I don't know. But yeah, so that's why I picked that up. And it's funny, because I joined their loyalty scheme, which I'm not really sure why I did, because I don't really plan on going in game again. But yeah, the bloke, when he's taking my details, I just thought this was really funny. When I finally give him my postcode at the end, he slaps the enter key like that, and he goes, Marveloso, and it's like, really? There's kind of a bit of an awkward moment when he said that. It's like, was it Teddy in Adventures of Pete and Pete? He used to go, Excelente. Sorry, that was really cringeworthy. And then the final place I went was, what was it? Oh, yes, Macmillan Cancer Research. And this was a quid, and I could be wrong on this. It was Tunnel B1. And the reason I bought this is, it's by Ocean. When I looked at the back, I had a weird nagging flashback memory that it was one of those underrated gems that wasn't very well received, but if you actually bothered to play it, it was amazing. Again, I could be totally wrong, but yeah, just cover up with the bloke in the excellent cover up with the bloke in the gas mask. Just got a really weird nagging feeling that it could be that game I'm thinking of. Might not be, but hey, you know, it's a quid. Can't really go wrong. And finally, you didn't get to see this on that little bit in the wild section, mainly because well, I filmed it like a twat, and I wouldn't, if you get motion sickness from that, you would have definitely got it from this. But yeah, I went into cash converters. I picked up for $4.99, probably paid over the odds for this, but I've been desperate to play it for ages. House of the Dead Overkill Wii by Sega. Fantastic light gun game, pretty sure I know what it is. Fantastic story. It's like a grindhouse movie. Amazing, seriously amazing sense of humour. So many games try to be funny, and so many games just can't pull it off for shit. Yeah, absolutely fantastic game, and I've been hankering to play it for ages. Manual, warranty card, and the disc is, I was going to say Excelente, never mind, but yeah, really quite pleased with that. $5 too much? Who cares? Definitely expect a gameplay on that. Now, there was a couple of PlayStation games in there. I found their PlayStation pricing really weird. I bought Castrol Honda Superbike Racing. Got to get the sponsor in there on the PlayStation. I'm not a massive fan of bike games. I like car games. But the reason I bought this is, I could totally be wrong, but I got a very, very nagging feeling that I watched the video by Steve Benway on this. Or a bike game, but I'm sure it was this, and it looked absolutely brilliant, and so I thought I'll definitely give that a pop for 99p. I mean, you know, as I always say, if it's shit, I'll just give it to a charity shop and pass on the love. And then I picked up Need for Speed Road Challenge. This was $2.99. As I always say, the best Need for Speed game ever to me is the original on the 3DO, and the copy of that on the PlayStation was never as good. But yeah, Road Challenge, I have no idea what this is. It's got a whole bunch of licensed cars on the back. It does look kind of interesting, but I do know that there are cases wankered. There are a lot of very good sort of or different Need for Speed games. They constantly try, I guess you could say they still do, they constantly try to tweak the sort of franchise. Like, what was the one when you ran away from cops and there were tire strips? I don't know. But yeah, I looked at the back and I thought, I'll give this a go for £3. Manual's in there. Disc, ooh, you can't see that, but I'm showing you anyway. The disc is, ooh, definitely, slam it down there, Dave, slam it. The disc has definitely seen better days, but I'm pretty sure it'll work. If not, you know, for £3, I'll take it back. But yeah, pickups in the wild. Quite pleased with this. I'm never going to go batshit crazy in the wild again, because I've streamlined my collection. So it's always going to be something that tickles my fancy, or I know is a solid good game, or something that has, you know, kind of sense of nostalgia. In the case of that Tunnel game, kind of a nagging feeling of, have I? Did I? Was it? You know what I mean. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later.